Could it be? Maybe? Yeah, there we go. And I believe that is live. As live as we're gonna get around here. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are here with Aliens Eradication. This is a Doom level mod here. And whichever character class you choose, you'll start up in a different location. I don't have it 100% correct. The music isn't quite right. Not really sure why. And things are quite well, Emperor Snake. And hello, Atomic. Oh, dearie me, things have been very busy over the past few, over a year. I'll tell you this, it is a very stressful time to say the least. But hopefully, 2021 will not get any worse than 2020 was. But yeah, finally got that bloody alien isolation completed after all that time. That video took a ridiculous amount of time, and I almost died. Goddamn facehuggers. Oh, I'd love for there to have been an Alien Isolation 2. I mean, there's been plenty of time for there to be one developed, but I guarantee you there won't be. Because we're just not that fortunate now, are we? I thought that would require a green key. Okay, let's see if I can remember how to actually control things in this game. C, Z. No, that's the flare. X? X is crouch? I guess it makes some sense. I was actually getting this game to, grab any valuable intel, check your map, I've marked some possible locations. Alright, so we're actually playing as the bad guy here. Oh wait, there's the music! Wow, okay. Shows how much I remember. You had to cross this area. Yeah, we got some Alien Trilogy music. I eventually want to re-review Alien Trilogy. I think I was a little too hard on that game. We got a little bit of, Doom 3 going on there. I quite like the soundtrack for Alien Trilogy. I mean, it's not the best, but it actually is fairly memorable. Especially for a game that it definitely feels like a very early console first-person shooter, especially since you have to use the D-pad to move it around. Now, I've not actually played... Goddamn facehugger. I love how they always make that a insta-kill, though. Because that really does make for a very good insta-kill enemy. Even if technically, you could turn that into a QTE, but I think it'd probably annoy literally everyone. Okay, let's see if we can't find some sort of intel. I doubt it'll give us any bright, shining arrows. And hello, Tequinger, how the hell do you pronounce that? Now, as of late, I've started working on, some more book reviews. I'm actually going to focus on reviewing some video game novel adaptations. Started reading the novelization for Descent. Now, Descent actually... Wow, I love how it's just literally labeled Intel. It's really sneaky, people. It's like, how are we going to have it top secret? Well, just write top secret on there. We had to know. I like how they're not immediately attacking us with xenomorphs. Definitely knows how to actually have some degree of pacing. Okay, can we actually get over here? But yeah, Descent actually had a novel based upon it. For those who haven't played Descent, that was one of the early 3D first-person shooters and gave you 6 axes of freedom. Basically, it was like you were flying this spacecraft around in a zero-G environment, and that sounds like there's an alien egg. Ah, crap. Reload. I knew it was gonna happen. I knew that was gonna happen. So I gotta do all that again, because I didn't save, like an idiot. Thankfully this isn't too difficult. I totally knew that was gonna happen, though. As I heard it, I knew I was gonna be able to shoot it in time. But yeah, Descent. Didn't have much of a story other than go into mine, shoot robot, and then blow up mine. The novel for Descent is very different from the game. It's about halfway in that they even get to the bloody mine, and you've got a very interesting protagonist. They kind of, well, in a good way, subverted expectations. Because they didn't make him a generic hero kind of character. In fact, they made him kind of nuts. Like, he steals a plane at one point, He's got an estranged wife and everything. It's like, it's very strange that the writer chose to make it such a complex novel. Okay, let's go ahead and save. It's like, it feels like it should just be a generic sci-fi book and not a full-on video game novelization. It's like, they did that back in the 90s though. It's kind of like the Halo novels as well, but Halo had a more well-connected story than go into mine and shoot things. Like, there's a giant backstory for everything, including the main character, like the actual villain, who I think showed up for like, god damn it, that's a lot of facehuggers. That's a lot of them. There's one left in there, the busted. Okay, let's try to get a... I can hear him moving around. They're using AVP1 sound effects. Oh, he's in there. Oh, that's actually kind of fancy how they did that. Because it is moving around. The motion tracker, that is quite... I mean, that's some pretty good programming there. And they give you acid damage on top of that. Now, if only Colonial Marines was like this, instead of complete garbage. I like how there's a bit of a... Shit, no! It's the one thing I love about Aliens games. That is the only game that can cause blind panic in me. It's like those xenomorphs and those goddamn facehuggers. Those are some real enemies. Because like, the xenomorph is still a very scary creature. I mean, the very idea that such a thing could even exist. Let's see here. Hello, William Holland. Everything is as well as it can be. And yes, that... I blame you, Atomic, for getting face-hugged. How could you? But yes, Descent is the one that is the spaceship shooter from DOS. And surprisingly, the book is pretty competent. I'm going to review that, and I'm also going to try to force myself to read the Rage novelization. Because I'm working on Rage right now. Initially, I was going to say that Rage was an absolutely terrible game. But as I've started playing it more and more, or as I've been playing it more and more, it actually has kind of grown on me. It's not that bad. I'd actually say it's pretty fun, but it is pretty fun, but it's obvious that id Software at that time was either under a time constraint or was really, really incompetent, because there's a lot of things in that game that really do feel like they cut a lot of corners. Okay, let's go ahead and save. Like, there's quests that literally you drive out to somewhere, pick up an item, and drive it right back. You don't even get attacked once. But mostly, it's fun. Mostly. Let's turn the light on, please. Thank you, and all the rest. I just heard an egg open up. There's that AVP1 sound effect! Yeah, whoever made this mod did an absolutely... I mean, like, it looks really good for the Doom engine, and it plays just as well as it should, because, like, when you hear that facehugger start crawling around, you know you are fucked. But yeah, Rage. It's easy to see why it... I don't think it actually failed, because I read the sales figures were not too bad, but it's easy to see why it's gotten obscure, because, like, that first hour is absolutely terrible. I mean, it's just awful. It is just, it drags on with literally nothing happening. And then, like, you have a little bit of gameplay, and that little bit of gameplay is pretty lame. But the more you play it, the more it's really remarkably fun. Like, to the point where, there's times where you'll be fighting some generic enemies, and then you'll use, like, this mind control crossbow dart that doesn't actually control minds, it just blows them. I'm guessing they, somebody just exploded? What the fuck? Ah, there's our big xenomorph. That I apparently can kill with a shotgun now. Holy crap, dude. This is a remarkably well-made mod so far. Alright. But with that in mind, that xenomorph sprite is actually pretty good. But yeah, there's times in Rage where you'll really get into that combat to the point where, you know, you're fighting random enemies, and then you shoot off a crossbow dart and just watch somebody explode. And it's like, yeah, that game's pretty fun. Let's see. How far did you get, Atomic, after playing the Omega? Well, Rage is very much a shallow game. Like, don't get me wrong. It is basically an abbreviated RPG. Like, it wants to be an RPG, but it also wants to be a first-person shooter, and it's id Software. And it's kind of weird why they went with the whole RPG thing, only to not really focus on it too. It's a weird game. Rage is just weird in what it tries to do, and what it kind of... It succeeds in doing what it sets out to do. Okay, what the hell is that? Why is it beeping faster? It makes me think it's gonna explode. It's like, it succeeds in being this weird hybrid of RPG, first-person shooter, and racing game. And it succeeds in a way that you wouldn't expect. It's like, you feel like there should be more going on in terms of the RPG, but there isn't. But it's just satisfying enough that you don't feel like it's too bad. It's weird. It's like you can feel that sense of RPG progression as you go through the game. And it shouldn't work as well as it does, but somehow it does. It's weird. The racing part of the game actually works because the controls are pretty good, and you feel a sense of progression with that as you get better and better cars. It's really weird to me why they went that whole let's try everything at once route, because it seems like if they'd focused on one thing, Rage would have been a lot better. And I wonder if Rage 2 is any good. I actually did play Rage 2 a little bit, like a tiny bit. Mainly because I haven't had a lot of time to play a lot of games. What little I played of Rage 2, it felt like it was a better game, but it could definitely start to flag later on. Just have to see. That sounds like a facehugger. I see why I died the last time. Hey, you can shoot out the window. Oh my god, we've got destructible windows. What is this, Rise of the Triad? Let's go ahead and save. Let's see. Is there anything great? You know, I can actually agree with that, Anthony Jordan Games and more. Because, yeah, it does everything competently to the point where I think, like, in aggregate, the game is actually good. But then again, with that in mind, my thumbnail is going to say, the worst id Software game in the most clickbaity way imaginable. Because, hey, we gotta drive views somehow. Because it really is the worst id Software game. I mean, it is not... let's put it this way, it's no Doom 2016, I can tell you that. But every little bit kind of combines to overcome its crappiness. I just think there is a good game lurking in Rage. Also, that game looks like shit, by the way. Like, even on a modern machine, it looks like crap. Like, that is some of the worst textures I've ever seen. And I'm running this on like a Ryzen machine. Like, surely the developers knew it was gonna look that bad. I hear something moving around in there. Or not. I guess his AI broke. But it looks like shit. And it still runs pretty bad. I mean, I get a lot of dips to 30 FPS all the time when I'm out driving around. The sound cuts out all the time. I don't know what happened. I mean, I think it's one of those instances of whoever was in charge didn't know how to prioritize their time. And they ended up trying to do everything at once, and they kind of failed. Not necessarily at everything, but they didn't do very good at everything either. I'm still gonna recommend it though. Like, if you can get the game for like $10, it's still worth playing. It is rough at first, but once you get out of the starting area, once you get out of Good Springs, Well Springs, Since it's a Bethesda game, I'm sure that's how they were able to get away with that. But once you get out of Well Springs, it starts opening up and it gets a little bit better. But it never becomes... The big problem with Rage is it's an id Software game, and yet it doesn't really have that id Software memorableness. Like, every id Software game in many cases changes gaming as a whole. Let's put it this way, Rage is not changing anything, like, at all. It's easy to see why no one really likes it that much, but there is a good game there. Like, I'm legitimately having fun playing it. It's not a chore. And Xenomorph. already out of ammo? I still got some shells. Shit. Fucking shit. Aha, no. There needs to be another bloody AVP game at some point. Because there's nothing like fighting a xenomorph. I mean, like, there's nothing like it to really get the adrenaline flowing. But, yeah, the Rage book isn't much better than the game. I actually read the book before the game, or read most of the book before the game. And the book honestly feels like a generic version of Deathlands. And that is why I love Aliens games, because we're down to 1 health. We got attacked by 1 enemy, already down to 1 health, and dead. I didn't mutate. I was dissolved by the acid of the fell beast. Okay, you bastard. But yeah, the book basically felt like low-rent Deathlands. And what's really funny is the book has next to nothing to do with the game. Like, all the personalities are changed around. Like, characters who are heroic in the game or villainous in the book. I don't really know why they went that route. But they, like, it's kind of funny. It's like, imagine if Obi-Wan Kenobi was basically Darth Maul in the book, but in the movie he's like the Obi-Wan we know and love. Like, that's basically the big difference. Shit! Fucking face-hugging at. Let's see. I have played Stalker. I get asked that all the time. I just didn't really like it that much. Control. I've never actually heard of it before. I've read one Predator omnibus that was pretty good. Called Jonesy. I've never even heard of that book. I can't imagine reading an Aliens book that's based around the cat. That just seems, kind of... How did he get that far? How did the facehugger jump that far? Asshole. I always find this pistol to look very flat. Very, very flat indeed. Reload, come on. They really got the AI and the Xenomorph pretty good. Although they do explode, which is a bit strange. I read a Predator omnibus that had some pretty good stories in it. I think my favorite short story out of that, I thought that was a window. That's not a window. That is, oh crap, shit! That did not end well. My favorite short story out of all of that was one where they brought back the Danny Glover character 20 years later. And had him face down the Predator. Although it had one major gaffe where, like, one of the rifles could only shoot 60 yards. It's like, wow, that sounds like it's pretty shit. It's treated like it's one of the most top. Like, god damn it. Alright, I'm down to 11 health. This is where you know this game gets real. Oh, that's a picture. Honestly, I never really cared that much about the cat character all that much. Now, evidently, there's supposed to be a cat in Alien Isolation. I didn't hear it. God damn it. Okay, at least we made it through the fucking door. But there's supposed to be a cat in Alien Isolation that gets killed by the Xenomorph. Alright, let's just grenade it. Just fucking grenade it. Well, that didn't end well. Also, I love the fact that armor has a U for whatever reason. Now, in addition to taking a look at the Rage novelization, I'm also going to be reviewing a book that's sort of like inspired by Alien. It's a book, shall we say, rather unimaginatively named Killer, which is basically Xenomorph with the Great Value Xenomorph. God damn it! Great Value Xenomorph in ancient Rome. I read it many, many years ago as a teenager, and recently rediscovered it. It actually holds up pretty well, but it is so obvious that the main antagonist is a xenomorph. It's supposed to look like sort of a lizard-ape sort of thing, but it acts like a xenomorph. It's a little more intelligent than a xenomorph, because it's able to mimic human behavior, but it still kind of acts like a xenomorph. It lays eggs just like a xenomorph queen, and it's able to take over planets by outbreeding the native population just like a xenomorph. And the whole ancient Rome aspect works pretty well. Okay, let's grab that and run. Just run. Oh, come on. This game really needs a dedicated reload key. Like, it really seriously needs that. This is a mod I definitely need to review because this is damn sick. Oh, come on, you. I don't think there's a Doom Wad port of Alien Trilogy. I think they just repurposed the assets for this. There is an Alien Trilogy WAD that changes weapons and level textures for other games. Or other WADs, actually. Let's see. Enoch, you killing her? Copyright friendly. Yeah, pretty much. This is Aliens Eradication. It looks like Alien Trilogy to a degree, but it lacks sort of the 3D. Now, there is supposed to be an Alien Trilogy port coming out at some point, but I don't think it was ever finished. God damn it. I don't think it was ever actually... Okay, we'll use the grenades. Alright, when that door opens, let them have it. That is the weakest grenade launch ever. Like, I could throw one further than that. Crap. Okay, what we have to do is, we have to back up like this. Okay, let's chuck the grenade. It's the wrong weapon! No! This is giving me AVP flashbacks. I think maybe you're just supposed to run. Not into the room with all the xenomorphs. I'm gonna blame the chat. Let's see. You know, I don't really look forward to anything from Ridley Scott anymore. Well, Killer isn't fan fiction. Like, it is a legitimate novel by David Drake, no less. David Drake, of course, being a very famous science fiction writer. Shit. I need more ammo for the pulse rifle. Let's see if we can... Let's see, let's break open... Fucking facehugger! Get away from me! It's like the worst of all the bad touches. Great. I literally made a net loss in health. Okay, let's see if we can... we've got grenades, we've got some of that. And there's 3 intel left to collect. Brilliant! Okay, so this is a much more difficult WAD than I thought it was going to be. Because holy crap, when you open up that door, you better be ready for him. At least if I get some pulse rifle ammo. And I still haven't collected all the goddamn intel. They certainly don't hold your hand in this. They just keep coming! It's like, relax. You don't have to do it. You don't really want to... Shit. I'm gonna hide the chat. Well, and yes, this is pretty hard. And, let's see. Oh, TDS. Well, see, if somebody swats you, they can always go to jail for a very, very long time. As they should. I think you should remind them that this is America, not the Soviet Union. Yet. Let's just add the yet there. God damn it. See, the problem is... Okay, let's try to focus on just taking out these xenomorphs right here. Because if I start running back that way, that's just going to make them all spawn. Alright, let's try to keep them boxed up in there. Okay, let's save again. But that, talking about TDS, that reminds me of the goddamn election insanity. This really needs a flashlight. I don't have any drones, well that's great. I'm not gonna get into that too much, but holy crap, ladies and gentlemen, is that just very disturbing, to say the least. Because... Wait, hold on. That's actually pretty creepy. There's some incidental sounds of like people coughing and like crying. It's like, man, they really nailed the atmosphere in this mod. This is something I'd been following for this mod. I've been following it for a while, but I just kind of forgot about it with all the crap going on this year. and last year. Because this is really, really good. Let's see. My God, that's insane. People are nuts. Is it recognizable xenomorph or xenodwarf? It'd be E.T., as played by Michael Ironside. It's like, he'd be nice, but an asshole about it. And I never really rated E.T. I always found E.T. to be really boring. Even as a kid. I had that on VHS back then, and I found it to be complete crap. But then by the time I saw E.T., I was already well into Star Wars, and it's like you go from Star Wars to E.T., and it's like, no thank you. One movie that I would love to watch again and review if ever I had the time is a film so terrible, I bet. I don't remember. Ooh, that's a well-animated 2D egg. But anyway, it's a film so shitty, I assume. I haven't seen it since I was a kid, so we're talking many, many decades in the past. Well, I mean, not that many decades in the past, but decades in the past, called Star Kid. Yes, the armored socks of great justice will protect me. Called Star Kid. It's about this kid who gets an alien battle suit, because 90s, and like the suit talks to him, and he goes on some sort of random madcap adventures. I remember nothing about what actually happened in the movie, other than the kid was like trying to go to like not McDonald's, and like the Xeno armor like turns the hamburger into some sort of nasty gelatinous mass. That was memorable enough for me to remember for like almost 25 years. Oh God, fucking masks. Let's see here. And yeah, you gotta save scum this. I imagine there's gotta be a queen. Well, let me put it this way. The election is pretty chaotic in areas that are not Texas. Texas did not flip. Even though I got so much election spam, like saying, Battleground Texas, I was like, yeah, right. And then the election ended and it was like, yep, I thought I got the yellow key. What do I have? I have... did I die getting the key, or did I not pick it up? Also, this is a gigantic map. Now, I don't know how long this actual wad lasts, because it seems like this, with the size of this wad, it's only going to be this level, and then it's over. I guess I didn't pick up the yellow key. I thought I did. No, I didn't. I must have died after this point or something, because I could have swore I did all this. Shit. Goddamn facehugger, goddamn facehugger! I'll complain about election spam in a moment. This pistol's actually useful. But, yeah, I mean, I got so much election spam this year. I never got election spam before, but I got a shit ton of it. And it was all about Battleground Texas. And, yeah, let's put it this way. It didn't go quite the way they'd hoped, I bet. Actually, I don't have to bet, I know. So, yeah, there's that. So I don't foresee Texas erupting into giant riots and crap like that. Now, elsewhere, we'll just have to see. There's just a massive censorship and propaganda machine right now. It doesn't really matter which side you're on in this election. It's all bad. Let's just put it that way. It's all bad. Because on the one hand, you got massive amounts of fraud. You got it's like... It's basically the culmination of like the last decade. Well, last 2 decades, let's say. So, I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm just glad I live in Texas. I don't have to worry about it too much. So yeah, that's one of the benefits of living in what's charitably... That's a lot of xenomorphs. There's my pulse rifle. That's a fucking pulse rifle. It's a good thing I got that goddamn ammo. That's one of the benefits of living in a... Shit. Living in a city and state that is not quite as, shall we say, volatile as others. Let's see. And hello, Ross Dude. Well, you know, when it comes to the Californias, a lot of them came to Texas, but they weren't able to flip anything. In fact, some of the more insane politicians got voted out. So, and I don't know what just exploded, other than me. So a lot of the more insane politicians actually got voted out. Some of the more, you know, like, redistributive ones. So that was good at least. God damn it. How much health do I have? 8 health? Really? Do I have, like, any items? No, I do not have any med packs. This is not gonna be easy. And yeah, big tech is doing that. Let's see. Can you believe it? And Hobong. I do hope that 2021 is better. There's a lot of things that went fairly good for me personally this year, but the election has been insane. Weather's been insane, but whatever. I imagine we'll survive, mainly because they don't have that many fighting age young males, but that's neither here nor there. That's neither here nor there. That's one thing I've often wondered, though. All these literal communists screaming and yelling and smashing up buildings and things of that nature. If you actually showed up with, like, a 6x and said, like, you're in the army now, let's go get those capitalists, how many would just run? How many would literally just cut and run? I mean, I gotta say, I don't really think any of these kids really know what they're even fighting about. It's just stuff they heard on, well, YouTube or Instagram. I don't think young people even use Facebook anymore. It's primarily for older people. And it's, God damn it, as far as I know. Oh yeah, everything gets flagged on Facebook these days. You know, when it comes to Dan Crenshaw, talking about the election and other insanities, Dan Crenshaw is interesting. For me, when it comes to politicians, I generally don't like them on principle, just because they can say one thing, but often they'll do anything that will give them more power. He seems somewhat on the level, but he also supported red flag laws, which are just ripe for abuse. For those who don't know what a red flag law is, the theory behind it is you can basically circumvent the Constitution and also circumvent due process by saying this person could be a threat to himself or others. So right there you've got some problems with red flag laws, because somebody can just say that's the case. Now, keep in mind that it is limited to a degree. It's like it usually has to be a family member that says this person could be a danger to themselves. Oh yeah, also the red flag law allows local police forces to take somebody's guns. Because if they're a danger to themselves and others, why should they have guns? That's the idea. Well, a family member can just lie. That's something they can do. That's one thing they can do. But it's like there is still such a thing as due process, and by circumventing that, it's ripe for abuse. Because what if you have somebody who does have severe TDS, and they say, this person is a danger to everyone? Well, the cops come, they take the guns, and then you have to... I think there is a court hearing, but I don't think you actually get a lawyer present. And then there you go. You got... It's pretty much crap. And if I'm not mistaken, Dan Crenshaw actually supports that, and that's not good. Now, the idea behind the red flag law is... It's one of those things that when you don't think about it, it makes sense. The idea is that, well, if your family member is acting suicidal, then you can, you know, have their firearms taken away so they can't kill themselves. But then that kind of, there's a big logic flaw with that, then they can kill themselves some other way, so you're not really helping. But I can see where, if you don't think about it, it makes some logical sense. But when you do think about it for even a second, it's like, who thought this was a good idea outside of just being sort of like a backdoor gun confiscation sort of thing? God damn it. Check the chat. Let's see. You know, I used to not have a problem. The thing is, once again, I'm not what you'd call partisan. I don't really trust any of these groups or organizations. Daily Wire, I used to listen to, what was that guy's name? Something Shapiro, whatever that guy was. I haven't even thought about Daily Wire in like over a year now. But I found him to be an annoying asshole who was actually legitimately sexist. Like, I've never actually seen somebody say something that idiotic. And for, holy shit, that's a lot of xenomorphs. Wait a minute, was that a power loader? Get the power loader! Get the power loader! Power loader! My power loader time was ruined by dying 5 seconds after getting the power loader. But old, what was his name? Does anybody know what that guy's name is? Yeah, Ben Shapiro, that's his name. Yeah, I did not like that guy after he basically was really sexist to this kid who got like a baseball. And like, this kid, it was a girl who got a baseball and he was all like, oh, she won't even know what sports is 10 years from now or something like that. It's like, really, Benny? Really? And it's just, I couldn't stand that. And then there was another one of those Daily Wire guys who was also really stupid as well. The reason I bring that up is like, if they're wrong about that, how can I trust them to be right about something more complicated? There was one other idiot. It wasn't Benny Boy. It was somebody else. Somebody that was like in his 50s and had like skin so tan it was like parchment paper. What was that guy's name? Whatever his name was, he was complaining about The Witcher, about how there was a chick using a sword. And what's really funny is there were so many like sword YouTubers saying like, yes, a chick can use a sword. And it's like, if that guy's wrong about that, what else is he wrong about? One of the other things that came about with the election now is there's a lot of pushback against Fox News as well, because like Fox News was never something I really trusted either. Because once again, you got to look at, when it comes to news sources and news media, always look at what they're not saying and pay close attention to when they say something idiotic. Because if they do, you got to ask yourself the question of what are they also saying about things that are more important? And if they don't do their research on something unimportant, are they doing their due diligence when they're actually researching something important? I stopped really, caring about Fox News around 2008, many years ago, when they were saying like, oh yeah, in Mass Effect 1, you can use a QTE. They didn't actually put it this way, but this is the only thing that makes sense, is you can use a QTE to have Shep fuck Ashley. And it's like, no, you can't do that. What are you talking about? And it's like, if they got that wrong, what else do they get wrong? Now keep in mind, I don't believe CNN or MSNBC or anything like that, because they're even worse about those sorts of things, but still. Just because something purports to be based does not make it so. Run! That's a lot of xenomorphs. That's a lot of xenomorphs. I think there needs to be a balance tweak in this game. Ultimate Warrior got it to speak. I do not remember the Ultimate Warrior doing that, but I'm not surprised. I think that Claven looks... Yeah, I think it was that Claven guy. I don't know who... Michael Knowles? I don't even know who that is. Favorite thinker. I liked Ashley in the first game. Let's put it this way, I liked tough women. Or, as Lo Wang would say, I like big women. Although there weren't actually any of those in Shadow Warrior 1. That is a lot of God damn it! Aliens Eradication is starting to annoy me. Because there's just too many xenomorphs, not enough health, not enough goddamn ammo. You know what we're gonna do? We're going to go in here, we're gonna go to a few aliens. We're gonna play it on easy and see what happens. Because they weren't lying when they said it was a swarm of aliens, that's for sure. Now if easy is boring, then I'll be annoyed, but political thinkers. Now see, that's the thing. There were people that I thought actually had some good points, and then they come out and say something stupid. And it's like, I'm not really sure, to be honest. Because every time I think somebody is on the level, they end up doing something idiotic. So, right now, not really anyone. As I've listened to a number of people who are supposed to be fairly intelligent, and I liked that Canadian guy for a little while, but then he ended up saying something idiotic, although I can't remember what it is at the moment. I also can't remember his name. I haven't really paid that close attention to the political scene, other than just, you know, like, what's going on. What does Antifa destroy next? The problem is, it's just, for me, I'm very skeptical of what people are saying and what people are doing. It's just, you can't really trust a lot of this stuff, because they all have their own biases and things of that nature. So it's like, for me, I don't even really bother half the time. Let's see. Hey, but see, like, with Ashley, I love how I go on from politics to Mass Effect. See, with Ashley, if you talk to her enough, she eventually realizes that xenophobia is bad, and if you do it, you're bad. So you probably shouldn't do it. And so, she eventually, in my playthrough, she always becomes substantially less xenophobic as time goes on. Although, the big problem with her character is bad writing in Mass Effect 2, where, like, here's a spoiler for a game that's almost a decade old, or it could be a decade old now. I don't remember how old Mass Effect 2 is, where she's like, why did you try to contact me? It's like, I've been dead for 2 years. What the fuck do you want from me? They literally had to rebuild me a robot body. And you never get a chance to say that. And my thought is this. If by saying that she still was being a bitch, then that is clearly somebody you do not want to be with. Who's shooting at me? Oh, there's a fucking sentry gun down there. Oh, I wonder if that's supposed to help you out, even though I'm being shot by the sentry gun. But yeah, it's like, when Ashley does that, I know it's bad writing, and they kind of have to contrive it because Ashley's not supposed to be in that game. But it's like, come on, Ashley, don't you... It's like, didn't the first game matter to you? But whatever. I prefer, Tali anyway. I find her much more endearing. Although the big problem with Tali is, you do have the, issues of her not being able to come out of her little suit. Which kind of makes the, sexy time a bit difficult. Yeah, there's less face huggers in the easy mode and more xenomorphs. Oh, you can only shoot that with that. Come on, fit through, goddammit! Let's see here. Yep. Well, I mean, it depends on where they are. Liara just seems kind of boring to me. And honestly, yeah, the Tali personality is also what I quite prefer. Although, what's funny is, I've actually dated a number, like 2 girls similar to Tali, and they all have a lot of hidden inner strength, which I quite liked. Sadly, as I said in a previous live stream, just because somebody has a compatible personality still doesn't mean it's going to work, which is one of the sad aspects of relationships. One of the very sad aspects of them. Come on, grab it! Save, save. It does make me wonder, though, if there was a true Mass Effect 4, would they reset the relationship again? Because they did that in every goddamn game. Because, like, in Mass Effect 3, I think you had to reconnect with Tali for whatever reason. I don't remember what exactly the justification was for that. Okay, save. Because, like, seriously, by the end of Mass Effect 2, like, you're pretty close. Just saying. Okay, so what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to find where that goddamn yellow key is. But I'm doing a lot better on super bloody easy because I'm not constantly being attacked. Let's see. Yeah, they do have the insta-kill. Miranda Lawson. Ew. I've considered getting the Mass Effect remaster, but a part of me doesn't want to bother to pay for it, seeing as how it's gonna be the same game, and I doubt it'll look that much better, and there already is a Mass Effect Remaster mod out there. Although I never could get it to work on the PC version. It always breaks my saves. It's kind of weird that way. But Mass Effect has aged remarkably well. At least it has to me, so I don't really have that much of a desire to get another copy of that game. Mass Effect, though, I'm going to have an unpopular opinion. It's a very good game, but it's not as good as people say it is. Like, it's not as good as Dragon Age. It's like, Mass Effect is not as good as Dragon Age. Changed my mind. I just feel like Mass Effect was just so drastically dumbed down. Actually, no, I take that back. The, goddamn facehuggers. I guess the facehugger was like, you shall die for your eternity to dare disperse the good name of Mass Effect. But no, Mass Effect just feels like it's a lot more simple than, than it should be. That's just the way I feel about it. I would have preferred Mass Effect 2 and 3 be as complex as Mass Effect 1. But even then, I would have preferred Mass Effect to be as complex and complicated as Dragon Age. Because they just feel so shallow in a way. God damn it! Those facehuggers, man. They're gonna be the death of me. It just kind of feels shallow in a way, especially when you compare Mass Effect to, KOTOR 1 and 2. I can hear that bastard around here. I could really use a flashlight. Let's just bump up the gamma. Wash out all the bloody colors. Okay, where is that facehugger? God damn it! Mass Effect 3 is not as bad as you would think. I got it on, release date, and I played it 360, no special ending, and it's actually kind of funny. When I played the ending to Mass Effect 3, I actually thought it was okay. It's kind of weird. I just, because I'd played the entire Mass Effect series from start to finish. Like, in 2007, I'd already pre-ordered it. When Mass Effect 2 came out, I had that pre-ordered. And so, it was like, well, that's the end. And, you know, on the surface, Mass Effect 3's ending isn't that bad if you do, like, the synthesis ending and don't think about it. It's one of those things. It's a great idea so long as you don't think about it. So long as you don't put any thought into it, it's like, it's a happy ending. Everybody's, like, half human, half robot now. It's great. I mean, everybody's alive, right? But then you start to think about it, it's like, really? That's it? It's like, isn't everyone else still dead? I think Mass Effect 3, the Reapers in general, I think were the worst aspect of Mass Effect by far. And the reason I say that is that was always the big bad that was going to come in and just completely wreck the universe. But I found the universe to be more entertaining than the big bad that's going to come and kill everyone. I would have preferred, had there been no Reapers at all, and have it be some sort of geopolitical conflict between all the various powers, all the various Citadel powers. I think that would have been much more entertaining than stop the big evil spaceships. And you don't even really get to do that. And that's also where it's like, when you really start to think about that ending, it's like, why couldn't you have a boss fight against Harbinger? You kill Harbinger and that shuts down all the Reapers. I mean, it's a generic kind of like not Attack of the Clones, Phantom Menace ending, but, well, that's what people would actually want. I know I would want that. Because it's like, well, everyone's kind of still alive, but like, Mass Effect 3 just torched the franchise and ran, and there was more good in the franchise that they could have gotten out of it, but they didn't do it. And, you know, Mass Effect Andromeda, I have not played, so there's a mod that fixes the ending for Mass Effect 3 that gives it a slightly better ending, but I guess that was just BioWare dying. It was artistic integrity, man! It was all about the artistic integrities. Let's see. Microsoft had to release a statement. Don't blow vaporizer smoke into your Xbox. Really? My God, you know you're living in the future when don't vape on the Xbox, bro. Let's see. There's not. Oh, live story picking up. Oh yeah, I see. Well, you can end a series pretty easily if you just... Even if you just do it generically. It's like, give the players what they want. And what they want is the hero wins at the end. Subverting expectations is all well and good when you're not trying to make money or have people buy your product. But if you want people to buy your product, actually have people... Actually give them the product they want. I mean, seriously. It's like, come on. Just have the good guys win and live happily ever after. That is what every story ever has done. And you know what? It sells. Because it's like, why would you really want Shep to die? I mean, if you did have Shep die, why not have it be better than it was? There are so many ways that could have gone that would have been substantially better than what we got. Now, I've not finished Dragon Age 3, because that whole life thing did actually pick up for me when that came out. Mass Effect, Dragon Age 3 is, despite that being a post-woke BioWare game, it's still pretty good. It is surprisingly not horrible. And the story is surprisingly okay, although the RPG element... Well, it's now an RPG element. Like, you do have dialogue, but most of the time, you're not getting to say much, and you can't even change your stats if you want, because that makes sense. But, you know, I'd actually say that Dragon Age 3 is better than Mass Effect 3 in many respects. It's actually funny. It's like Dragon Age, despite being a darker universe than Mass Effect, this is way more playable. This is like, shit. I say that and I'm about to be completely evaporated by these goddamn Xenos. This is way more playable than the ultra-violence equivalents. Shit. I say that and I'm being... But yeah, despite Dragon Age being, on the surface, a darker universe, it had a much less dark third game. It's like, all of your favorite characters die in Mass Effect 3, and all your various favorite Citadel species die. It's like, who wanted that? Let's see. And yeah, the characters aren't particularly amazing. One thing I do find annoying about Dragon Age Inquisition is just there's a lack of proper female characters. It's like, you've got French chick, whose name I've already forgotten, and like, she's the only one out of that entire lot that is even remotely attractive to me personally. And she is totally not a chick I would ever even, in a million years, consider wanting to get with, just because, well, she's way too bitchy. But whatever. Needs must, right? Whoa! Just give me some warning, game, before you literally blow everything up. Well, now I'm down to 15 health. Brilliant. I don't think I'm going to be able to finish this today, because this is a long-ass level. Like, it is way bigger than I thought it was going to be. Oh my! But anyway. Moving right along. Okay, is this a light switch? No. That does nothing. That is less than nothing. I think we're still looking for intel, but I don't know how much intel to actually get. Let's save. Xbox X or PS5. Since I play the PC pretty much exclusively, no. I'm not... There's not really any games on either system I really care to play. And there is Demon's Souls remastered, but honestly, I can play that with RPSX 3 and blow it up to 2K, and, well, there you go. It's like, what's the point at this point? What's the point at this point, ladies and gentlemen? And then for Microshaft, it's like, well, I've got a computer, so it's like, who cares at this point? Let's see. Only one romanceable female. Wow. Brilliant. It's like half the reason I enjoyed those BioWare games was because I quite like the romance options. Although it's kind of funny though. KOTOR 1 only had one romanceable female, if I'm not mistaken. I think all you could do was, at least Bastila was somewhat endearing in a kind of bitchy sort of way. I mean, for 2003, it was pretty amazing that there was even a female character that you could romance. But one of the reasons why I still absolutely adore KOTOR 2 is the first waifu, Pieces Mar. Oh yeah, the blind chick. Shit. Now, realistically, you shouldn't be able to kill these bloody xenomorphs with a 12-gauge shotgun. I hear you moving around, you fucking facehugger. Save! Okay, I didn't know that would do that, but alright. I'm not sure why you would design such a thing like that, but okay. Power loader time! Okay, that's... looks kind of neat, but it's a bit silly. This does not really translate that well, I gotta say. Because, like, this looks kind of silly. Can I climb the ladder with the power loader? I can climb the ladder with the power loader. And I'm actually... and doing... and... the power loader's a bad idea because it only does melee damage. And, it shoots acid all over you. Brilliant. Let's see. I thought that Sony had canceled the PC version. Let's see. Weyland-Yutani built-in crushers. Psst. All those evil corporations always kind of amuse me, but then again, we can look at Facebook, just the sheer amount of propaganda they're giving up. It's kind of funny, earlier today, that reminds me, it's like, you look at that, it's like, oh yes, there is no dispute at all in the election. Do not observe all of the fraud charges. It's like, my God. And I'd like to say, who are they kidding? But then again, there are people who are complete nuts who will just be like, well, you know, it's like, why would the news lie? I'm glad I don't have to deal with people who have TDS or anything like that. Because pretty much all the people in my group are 100% based, so... Because, like, when you have somebody with TDS, I don't even know what you do with somebody like that. It's like, what do you say? It's like, well, technically everything you've been told is wrong, and they're like, they have no reason to believe you. It's like, they got to you too, man! Actually, I don't think they do that. They just shout all the various ists and obes and all the rest. But still, though, it's sad. But par for the course. I hear a facehugger around here. Let's see. Oh, crap. I'm really impressed by this, but I feel like it's just, it needs a tiny, this needs just a little bit of a tweak. There needs to be more health spawns. Now, this is the absolute easiest difficulty. They need to have more health spawns, more ammo spawns, and, maybe a few, fewer enemies. Okay, I did not get all the intel. Oops. But evidently I was able to just exit, so whatever. We made it through the level. Oh, I don't have to get all the intel because I was playing it on easy. Oh, it's gonna be one of those games. Alright, I quite like that. Well, that makes streaming this a lot easier now. It's too many good men to come away empty-handed. Sack the site! Do you have your mooching sack? It's my little one. It's my little mooching sack. Alright, let's see here. But it's quite interesting, though, just how much of this stuff is just kind of covered up. Because, like, I'll talk to people who have no idea what Antifa even is. Like, they've never even heard the name. Let's see. Dark Tide. I don't remember what that actually is, to be honest. I haven't really focused on gaming news this year. I've just been working way too much. And speaking of working way too much, I finally get a day off after 3 months of non-stop 8 to 10 hour days. Oh, that reminds me. I actually forgot. I was going to mention that there is going to be another gun video, even though Uncle Joe already has stated a few things that are a bit worrying. That was also censored as well. Like, any video talking about that was taken down. I don't even want to say what it was. Just look up Uncle Joe's gun control plan, and, well, there's no way he could do it because no one would want to try to enforce such a thing. Let's put it that way. But there is going to be another gun video soon-ish, as soon as I get some time to work on it. Now, I do like all the scripting in this bloody mod. I mean, this is really good. This is some good stuff here. Like, it just needs to have a little bit, and it also needs a flashlight. Because, like, it is too dark for me to just wander around, barely being able to see what's going on. Unless there is a flashlight, I didn't know. Let me see. Throw flare, drone, turret, iron sights. There's iron sights. Oh, there is a flashlight. Oh my god. Well, the game, this makes everything so much easier. I can actually see. Well, you know what? You don't have to fix the flashlight. Just give me more ammo and give me some goddamn health. Okay, we can actually see whatever next. Mass Effect 3. Mouse 3 doesn't seem to do anything, but whatever. 40K version. Oh, there's gonna be a version of that? I didn't even know that. Okay. I gotta take a look at that. I didn't even know that was coming out. And yeah, like, nobody could afford that. And it's like, when you think about the logic of that particular thing, what would they do with all of the, if people did it, turned in firearms anyway? What would they do with them? Could they guard them? And like, we're talking millions of guns. Whoa, holy shit. And glad you're enjoying it, Blakestone. And yeah, I didn't even know Darktide was a thing. Yeah, I'm gonna buy that. Speaking of games that I've picked up, I did purchase Proteus. God damn it! Oh, I didn't save. I did a playtest of Proteus. I thought it was pretty good, and despite having absolutely no time to do anything, what little of Proteus I've played, absolutely top tier. It's not as good as, say, Project Brutality or Brutal Doom, but as a legitimate work, though, it is still pretty fun. I think it needs a little bit more enemy diversity. It needs diversity! It is our strength! But anyway, it needs a little more enemy diversity. I think they need to tweak the speed and make it a little faster. And they need to make normal slightly harder. Because, like, hard is almost too hard, but normal is too easy. But it's still pretty damn good. I'm just very picky when it comes to my first-person shooters. I still would recommend buying it, though. I paid full price for it. I would actually recommend just waiting for it to go on sale. I was able to pay full price because working 7 goddamn days a week for 3 months. As annoying as that is, that did allow me to get something not too long ago that I'm going to do a video on. I finally, after all these years, long last, got a Browning high power. And it actually is a real high power, although not a Belgian one. Evidently, Argentina manufactured actual high powers to Belgian specs with Belgian supervisors. So it is every bit the high power that a Belgian one would be, and it is awesome. I haven't had a chance to shoot it yet, but shit, fucking runner. And more. Okay, this game seriously needs to not have quite as many facehuggers. Because like in AVP 1, facehuggers were a very rare enemy, and they need to be. Because that is a one-hit kill. It's like you will get fucked. Literally. And hello, and see you, Mong. Let's see, Proteus. Oh, don't even get me started on fascism. 13. Oh yeah, 13. I forgot about that. I'm not gonna get a chance to play that anytime soon. I just don't have the time. I like 13 well enough, but when I've got like no time at all, I'm not gonna spend it on that. So yeah. Okay. Also, they need to get rid of that goddamn beeping because it makes me think something's going to blow up at some point. It's just like a fake out. Okay, I'm assuming we need to go in here. Yeah, that's what it was. Alright, let's get in here. But I certainly feel old now that there's actually a bloody remake of Mass Effect. It's like, I remember when Mass Effect just came out. I was a teenager. Authorized synthetics only, eh? Oh, so if you played as a synthetic, you could go there. What the hell is that? I wonder if he was just wounded, and I put him out of his misery. He was suffering. He needed to die with dignity, or at least that's what they say in the European Union. Because socialized met, never mind. Coming soon, General Lotz has been cancelled. Let's see. Facehugger is not one-hit kill. Yeah, it's just like, this needs to be... Just cut down on the facehuggers a little bit. Okay, is he an actual enemy? He looks like he's a cyborg. Okay, so he's not... That is creepy. Well, he went Aloha snack bar on me. Okay. Sending you to get my... Never mind. God damn it, he still got me! Okay, you want an Aloha snack bar? That is a very creepy enemy, I love it. Even if he did Aloha snack bar me twice. It's like, this is a damn good wad. I mean, something like this could be sold commercially. Just cut down on the facehuggers. Just cut down on them! Alright, we're gonna try to find a key that I'm gonna call it a day, because I've got like no time. Shit. But yeah, that Browning high power though. Absolutely amazing firearm. Still relevant. Downstairs door is locked, you need the codes. The password is probably just God damn it! The password is goddamn it. No one would ever guess that that was the password. Although it's goddamn it with like G is capitalized. The O is instead a 0. The D is lowercase. And trying to remember that is not an easy prospect. That's why people just like to write it down or use Google passwords because whoa, why is the game lagging? Shit, run! Because you can totally trust the Googles. Fucking Zeno! Oh, I'm dead. I'm dead. I knew it. And hello, Bene. Let's see. Oh yeah, Oregon. I forgot about that. I don't want to go into an all-political jamboree, but well, it is 2020 after all. Yeah, Oregon. Evidently, hard drugs have been decriminalized because Oregon, apparently. I gotta say, I do feel bad for the non-crazy people living in Oregon. Because, like, you think Oregon, it's like this quiet little, you know, state that no one even really knows on the map. Or at least they didn't really even know what it was. And then now it's Antifa and drug capital of the country, you know? That's really gotta suck. There's actually a video that I don't know how to really feel about it. On the one hand, I feel like there's some schadenfreude there, but at the same time, I kind of feel bad for the guy because he doesn't have a clue. As far as I know, that dude in the video, I'll explain what the video is in a moment, but I'm just trying to set the stage. For all we know, that guy is actually not a bad guy, but he's just been, you know, like, lied to by the media. Basically, there's a video of this guy saying, I've got a certain sign out front, please be peaceful, at which time the rioters are not peaceful. And they tear down his sign. It's like, it's also like that guy who's like, I'm on your side, and they just keep throwing rocks at the guy. And it's like, on the one hand, it's schadenfreude, on the other hand, you know, that guy probably never had a clue in his life. You know, he lived in a completely and totally, you know, not isolated, but safe community, you know, and now he's being faced with that. He has no idea what to do. He thinks that that'll help, but it doesn't. You never want to negotiate with terrorists or rioters because they'll just keep taking and taking and taking. Never try to negotiate with a bully because they'll just pick up on that weakness. It's a sad fact of humanity. It's like when the xenomorph shows up, you shoot your empty gun at him. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Well, it should still be a federal crime, but that's how they kind of get away with having with Reed be legal, because that's legal in a number of states. So, door code collected. Okay, I didn't even know that's where I could get the door code. So yeah, I mean, but the whole idea of making that stuff legal, on the one hand, well, I guess the government could, whoa. I guess the government could tax it, but how much I bet they're not. But one good thing, though, is that at the very least, California is not as insane as they could be, because they at least didn't pass some of their more questionable legislation, which is basically repealing some of the anti-discrimination laws, because they wanted to do that. They were so woke that they went in a complete circle. So at least that didn't pass. But you gotta love those goddamn politicians where it was all like, they just didn't understand it. Yeah, they did understand it. That's why they didn't vote for it. Not when you're too woke for even California, you know you've gone in the wrong direction. Go with the flow. Yeah, that's never a good idea. Shit. I think people aren't gonna just go with too much of that. I think a lot of these people have kind of forgotten that Americans really don't like being told what to do. Especially people in Texas. So, we'll see. It's just gonna be a hell of a year. Okay, how the hell do I get out of here? Does that open up? Great, now I'm lost. Let's see. And yeah, they do use a lot of sound effects from both AVP1. They also use some of the music from Alien Trilogy as well. Aliens are at 2% health? Really? Come on, game. Give me a little more health, please. Yeah, Aliens Eradication. Well worth playing. It's almost 100% gold. It just... Come on, just give me some health. Throw me a freaking bone here, people. One assumes this is... See, there's some health, but how much you want to bet there's like half a dozen xenomorphs, right? Yeah, they... Okay, really? They put the little fucking electrical machine over there? Really? Okay, reload. Save. Check the chat. 6mm ARC. Yes, this is a Doom mod. All you need to get this to work is GZ Doom, a copy of the original game, or Free Doom. I think this probably works with Free Doom. And it's literally just drag and drop. It's an easy thing to mod. Well, when I say 100% gold, I mean in terms of quality. I don't know if this has actually been completed or not. I'm just saying, like, if they just gave me more health, I would find this to be like a 100% top quality mod. But with just the limited health, it gets really annoying. It requires a considerable amount of save scumming, which isn't bad, but it does kind of take one out of the game a little bit. Well, you know, like, when it comes to... Okay, wait, there we go. The whole vote by mail thing, that was a dumpster fire from the beginning. But when it comes to the whole drug legalization, there's two ways of looking at it. Way one, you legalize it and tax it, but then again, do you really want a bunch of meth heads laying around? That's another issue. So that's one of those things where I'm going to say I don't really know if there's a good solution or not. It kind of, as much as I hate this term, it is as it shall be. There we go. It's just one of those issues that, you know, what can you do? I don't know if legalize it, man, was that good of an idea or not. But, yeah. It just seems like something Oregon would do. Now, let's see. Is this going to open? No, I need a red key card. Save. Terminator wads. None that I'm aware of. None that I've found, so... You would think there would be, but I honestly have found none in the time I've been playing Doom Wads. A lot of alien stuff, though. And some Star Wars. You know, that's a good question. Like, where exactly is all the Terminator stuff? The only first-person Terminator thing I can think of is Terminator Resistance. Which I still need to finish. I just have not had a chance to play. Okay, now, theoretically, I have the door code, so that should let me in there. Unless, of course, I didn't get the door codes. Because I died trying to get them. Well, let's go back up here and see. Let's see. Let's see. Well, see, like, Dare was entirely pointless in my estimation. It's like a lot of kids wouldn't even have known about drugs had Dare not talked about it. And I certainly was never going to actually do any of that stuff because I neither drink nor smoke, like, or do any sort of fun drugs or anything like that. I've always been very boring like that. I don't really have any moral objection to drinking or smoking or anything like that. I just personally don't find it to be enjoyable. It does always kind of annoy me though when it comes to some people where it's like, I am too good to drink. It's like, yeah, it's like, just because you choose not to do something does not somehow make you better. I always hate it when people are smug and self-righteous about certain things. I hear a facehugger crawling around somewhere. Save. It's like there needs to be more than just one little tiny sliver of health there. Where is that bastard? Fucking Zeno. I see you jumping around. Save. Check the chat here. Yeah, but see, it's the thing. It's not so much the drug addicts ruining their lives. It's also when they get violent and start attacking people and the drug dealers and stuff like that. See, that's one of the problems I have with the libertarian view of drug use. Like, just let them do it. Yeah, but what happens when some meth head goes nuts and stabs somebody, you know? That's a concern I have. It's the same way with, you know, people drunk driving and killing, like, a lot of people by smashing into them. It's always a little more complicated than just this person is damaging themselves. But then, of course, you have the issue. This is why I find these issues kind of interesting to look at, because it's like, well, then it's like, how far do you go with some of this stuff? At the end of the day, I just don't know what you do about it. If you're not gonna criminalize it anyway, I guess just legalizing it's gonna allow them to have another bit of tax revenue. But then again, really, player went boom. Donor. The libertarians aren't that bad. That's sort of like the media perception of them. The whole libertarian concept is a little more complicated than that. For me, I just consider myself an independent thinker, so to speak. I don't really join any group or just subscribe to any one ideology. For me, it's just, a lot of these issues are more nuanced, that's the word everybody loves to use these days, than they might first appear or than what the media says they are. So it's like, you gotta keep an open mind on some of this stuff, but basically don't be an idiot, is the way I like to look at it. Okay, I have no idea where else to go, and I've been going for an hour 20. Oh, I am General Lotz, and I'm going to say I'm going to be back next week with more Aliens Eradication. We're going to try to get through this WAD, and then I might go back to some of the other games, but I'm definitely in an Aliens mood after beating Alien Isolation. Not going to be too much content this month just because I don't have a lot of time. I'm going to be focusing on getting Rage finished, along with one other First Shots video. And I'm going to try to keep doing a live stream every week. So, and I'm also going to move it from Friday to Saturday, because I have a little more time on Saturday than I do on Friday. So in any event, I am Lotz, and I'm going to wish you good aliens, eradication, or whatever makes you happy.